We have already covered the first manipulation technique. Now let's jump on to the second one. The second manipulation technique is that 3x can also be written as 2x plus 1x. 3x can also be written as 4x minus x, as these things are the same. The format of the question would be something like x squared plus x minus 12, where x has to be manipulated. So x can be written as 4x minus 3x. So the equation would become x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 12. Now we can try taking something common from the first two and then the other two. From the first two we can take x common, so we will have x plus 4 over here, and from the other two we can have minus 3 as common, so we will have minus 3x plus 4. As we have the same value in both brackets, x plus 4, this can be written as x minus 3 and x plus 4. Let's try solving one question. The first step is simply substitution, so we will try doing that. So this will become negative 5 4 square plus 20 into 4 divided by 4 cube minus 3 into 4 square minus 4 into 4, which is negative 80 plus 80 divided by 64 minus 48 minus 16, which comes out to be 0 divided by 0. Now as the answer is 0 divided by 0, we know that we need to apply one of the manipulation techniques. Step A is to simply try taking common, so we will do that. In the numerator we can take negative 5x as common and we will be left with x minus 4. In the denominator we can take x common and we will be left with x squared minus 3x minus 4. Now here we can simply cancel off x and we will be left with negative 5 x minus 4 divided by x squared minus 3x minus 4. Now in the denominator you can see that we have reached this format. There are a total of 3 values in the expression. One is with x power 2, one is with simply x, and one is a constant. Now here we can apply the manipulation technique, which is simply that the value of x has to be broken down into two values. So the value of x in our scenario is negative 3x. Now negative 3x can also be written as negative 4x plus x. So our expression would become negative 5x minus 4 divided by x squared minus 4x plus x minus 4. Now in the denominator, the next step we learned was try taking common from the first two and then the other two. So we will do that. It would become minus 5x minus 4 divided by, we can take x common from the first two, it would become x minus 4, and we can take nothing common, so we'll just take one common from the other one and we will be left with x minus 4. The next step we saw was that if the values in both brackets are the same, then we can write them as this. So we will do that. So I can simply write this expression as negative 5x minus 4 divided by x plus 1 x minus 4. Now here we can simply cancel off x minus 4 and x minus 4 and we will be left with negative 5 divided by x plus 1. If we substitute for x again, we will have negative 5 divided by 4 plus 1, which is negative 5 divided by 5, and it is negative 1. So negative 1 is your answer. Let's try doing some practice questions for this manipulation technique. Question 1. Find limit as x approaches negative 2 of x cubed plus 3x squared plus 2x divided by x plus 2. The first step is simply substitution, so let's do that. Negative 2 cube plus 3 negative 2 power 2 plus 2 negative 2 divided by negative 2 plus 2. So this becomes negative 8 plus 12 negative 4 divided by 0, and this comes out to be 0 divided by 0. As the answer is 0 divided by 0, we need to apply one of the manipulation technique, but before that we have to take something common, so let's try doing that. In the numerator we can take x common, so we will be left with x square plus 3x plus 2, and in the denominator we cannot take anything common, so we will have the same expression x plus 2. Now in the numerator we can see that we have reached this format, which is three values: one is x power 2, one is x, and one is simply a constant. So we can apply the manipulation technique, which is simply to take the x value and convert them into two values. Here the value we have is 3x. Now 3x can be written as 2x plus x, or 5x minus 2x, or maybe 10x minus 7x. There are hundreds of ways to write that, but how do we decide which one to choose? Our eventual goal is to cancel off this x plus 2 in the denominator. So we have to intuitively see that what values can we put over here, so the expression would in the end help us cancel it off. We can see that the first value over here seems to be the most appropriate, so we will take that. So x square plus 2x plus x plus 2 divided by x plus 2. Now the next step is to try taking common from the first two values and then the other two values. So from the first two values we can have x as common, so we will be left with x plus 2, and from the others we cannot take anything common, so we'll just have 1 as common, and we will have x plus 2 divided by the same x plus 2 in the denominator. Now as we have the same expressions in both the brackets, we can write this expression as x plus 1 x plus 2 and divided by the same x plus 2. Now here you can see that we can simply cancel off x plus 2 and x plus 2, and we will be left with x plus 1. Now if we substitute for it again, we will have negative 2 plus 1. So the answer is plus 2. Let's try solving for one more problem. So limit as x approaches negative 4 of 7x plus 28 divided by x square plus x minus 12. So by substitution we will get 7 into negative 4 plus 28 divided by negative 4 square plus negative 4 minus 12, and we will have negative 28 plus 28 divided by 16 minus 4 minus 12, and we will have 0 divided by 0. So we will move to step 2. We will try taking something common, and in the numerator we can take 7 as common, and we'll have x plus 4. In the denominator we cannot have anything common, so we'll have x square plus x minus 12, the same expression again. Now as the denominator has reached our format, we will try to manipulate this expression and break it down into two expressions. We can write x as 4x minus 3x. So our expression would become 7x plus 4 divided by x square plus 4x minus 3x minus 12. Now we can take common from the first two values and then the other two values. So the denominator would remain the same. In the denominator we can take common from the first two values and we can take x as common. So we will have x plus 4, and from the other 2, we can take negative 3 as common and we'll have x plus 4. Now as both brackets have the same value, we will simply write them together. 7x plus 4 in the numerator as the same, and in the denominator we'll write them as x minus 3 and x plus 4. Here we can simply cancel off x plus 4 and x plus 4, and we'll be left with 7 divided by x minus 3. Now if we substitute for x again, we will have 7 divided by negative 4 negative 3, which is 7 divided by negative 7, which is negative 1. So negative 1 is your answer. Now you can see that there is a pattern being followed. Every time we take something common, then we approach one of the numerator or the denominator as our required format. Then we take the x value and manipulate into two values. Then we take common from the first two and the other two, and then always something can be cancelled off, and then you can find the answer. Hello everyone, welcome to All Possible Questions. In this video we'll be covering calculating limits.